coming to you with a movie review on the movie Evil Eye. If you're wondering where you can watch this movie, it's currently streaming on Amazon Prime. So go check it out first and then come back over here to my channel because this review will have spoilers in it and I really don't want to mess it up for anybody. So watch it first, then come back. So let's get into the review. Evil Eye. Evil Eye is about a perfectly romance turns into a nightmare when a woman becomes convinced that her daughter's new boyfriend has a dark connection to her own past. Ooh, that's a lot to say. It stars Sarita Chowdhury, who plays Ushay, Sunita Mani, who plays Pallavi, and Omar Muscati, who plays Sandeep. So, Evil Eye takes place in New Orleans. At the beginning of the movie, we find that Pallavi just turned 29 years old, and we see how her and her mom has such a great connection. Her mom, Ushay, is over in India with her dad, and we see them talking on the phone a lot, FaceTiming. Sometimes she talks to her dad as well, but mainly she talks to her mom. And so we see that they have this great relationship. I imagine they don't miss a day of talking. That's how close they are. And maybe they even talk several times a day. It just seems like they have that type of relationship. But even though they have a perfect relationship, it's kind of strained because Duche is pressuring Pallavi to get married. And she's pressuring her so much that it's starting to stress Pallavi out. We see that Pallavi does want a relationship. She has a married couple that sometimes she kind of admire. But other than that, we don't see anything that suggests that Pallavi is going out into the world stressing about not having a man or not being married. She's from India, but she doesn't seem to follow the Indian culture because she's over here in the States. So back in India, we see that she has relatives or friends who's getting married. Some of them might be even arranged marriages. And she's happy for her friends, but she doesn't seem to really want that for herself. And Ushay is so annoyed by it, and she's fearful that Pallavi is cursed in a sense. You know, she hasn't found a husband; she must be cursed. And she feels this way so strongly that she sets Pallavi up on a date. And we don't see her actually go on the date though because her date shows up an hour late. Pallavi waits on him, but he just is running too late for her. And by this point, she has already seen Sandeep. She's already sort of been flirting with him by just staring at him. He's staring at her, and so they had this flirty relationship at the restaurant. So they decided to just go out. And they continue to go out. Their relationship is going great. And finally, she decides to tell her mom about him, and she tells her and she describes him and she tells her that he seems to be the perfect guy for her and she thinks that Ushay is going to be happy. But the more she talks about him, the more Ushay seems to think that red flags are coming up. I think what really happens is that Pallavi starts to change. She seemed to be an independent woman before, and I think she still is an independent woman throughout the movie, but she really wants to be a writer. And so when Sandeep suggests that she should stop working and he could take care of her so she could be a writer, eventually she jumps on that. He also suggests that she either moved in with him or he bought her a place because something was going on with hers, and she jumps on that as well, you know. And when she informs her mom that she's not working and she's not in her place, she's at Sandeep's or her new place or something like that, her mom just feels like, okay, he's forcing her to do these things and accept these things because he wants her to depend on him. Now, this is how I feel she's thinking. And so that's a red flag to you, Shay. She thinks that Sandeep may maybe trying to control her, get her to where he's her only like means to things, and that's something she does not want for her daughter. And she also thinks that they're moving too fast. They eventually get engaged, and we see, I think after that, Duche has that initial phone call with Sandeep. Now, before this initial phone call, I really thought that Duche was mentally ill, or she was kind of, I don't know, like she was going through something. I did not understand what was going on with this mom. I thought she was so extra, so paranoid. She had so much fear. I just really did not understand what was wrong with her. And so when her family members was even saying she doesn't leave the house, they was telling Pallavi's dad that he needed to take her to a doctor. I was just like, okay, yeah, something's wrong with her. This all makes sense, you know. But after that initial phone call, I was just like, I don't know. That phone call sounds kind of creepy because the way he kept saying auntie this and auntie that, and he just sounded like he was so familiar with Duche and like he knew her on a different level. And I didn't like it. I didn't like that way the phone conversation felt, you know. And I think it caused her to be uneasy as well. Like she didn't like the way the phone conversation went as either, you know. She was kind of uneasy about it. And then we get deeper in the movie and we find that Duche had issues in her past with men. She had a boyfriend who abused her. He abused her a whole lot, and he even bashed her head into a concrete bridge. And that is probably why she had so many migraines in the movie. And she had visions, and you know, she even missed out on like events, like a wedding or something, because she was having such a bad migraine. So I think that is why she has these migraines, and it's from her past, which was really sad. And so once I found that out about her, I was like, okay, this explains why she is so fearful for Pallavi and why she has so much anxiety to her finding the perfect man, because she doesn't want Pallavi to go through the things she went through. So back to Sandeep, I didn't really see any red flags in the movie. Like I said, the phone conversation creeped me out, but still nothing stuck out. I still didn't know if he really was who he said he was. Pallavi acted normal. She didn't question him. She went on about her day and was happily in love. The only person who was uneasy was Duche. And then Sandeep gives her Pallavi some earrings, and we find out that Duche has the same earrings. And that was kind of freaky to me. And I was like, okay, why do they have the same earrings? This is weird, and I didn't understand it. And I was still like on an emotional roller coaster ride, trying to figure out what's real, what's not, what is about to happen. And then when that second phone call happened, and he was basically telling her who he was and how he was the guy from her past, the abusive boyfriend, he was just reincarnated in Sandeep's body. I just was like, oh my gosh, this is not going to end well. I didn't know what he wanted. I thought maybe he was just trying to get Duche back. I thought maybe he was going to kill off the husband, even though the husband was way in India. But I thought he was going to kill him off and kill Pallavi. And then he thought, him and Duche can just go on and live their happily life, after that. But, we see that Sandeep tells Duche that she needs to come to New Orleans. And if she didn't, he would hurt Pallavi. By this point, Duche had a therapy appointment because she had a conversation with her husband, and she said that she was gonna act better. She was gonna stop being so obsessed with her daughter, and she was going to get help and get through her past traumas and heal. So she agreed to go to therapy, and I think her therapy appointment was the same day that Sandeep had called her. And she was like, "Look, I don't got time today. Like, I know I said I was going to therapy, but my daughter's more important." And so she actually flies out to New Orleans to save Pallavi. And this is when everything hits the fan, and we see that Pallavi actually is like confused, because the way her mom and Sandeep is acting around each other, she doesn't understand what's going on. She thinks her mom is just there to surprise her for her birthday, but they're acting so weird that she's like, okay, something else is going on here. Like, why are y'all acting so weird? So then everything is revealed because of those earrings, because Pallavi and Ushay have on the same earrings, and that's how everything is revealed. And then both of them team up together and they beat Sandeep's butt, and it was just amazing. The fight was so intense. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat, like, oh my gosh, get him, y'all, get him. I was so scared for them. I did not want Pallavi or Ushay to be hurt, and it was just amazing. I loved that the ending. I loved it. Um, and as we see, though, at the very end, a baby is born, which kind of makes me think there's going to be a part two. And then Ushay even has a conversation with Pallavi, where she asks Pallavi asks Ushay, what happens if he comes back? What happens if he's reincarnated again? And basically, Ushay goes, well, we teamed up and kicked his butt this time. We can definitely do it again. And so I'm like, yes, let it be a part two. But I don't think it'll be a part two, but it would be nice though. So let's get into what I did like about the movie, which of course you can tell I did love the movie. I loved how it was an majority all Indian cast. I loved that. I loved how we got to see scenes from India, and they were just great, great shots. I also loved that the movie touched on trauma and how if you don't heal from things that happened to you in the past, that they will come back up in the future, and how a mother could have something that happened to her in the past, and she projects that onto her child, and causes her child to just go through extra stuff, stress for no reason. Ushay was very fearful, and she just did not want her child to go through the same thing she did, and so that played out throughout the movie. And I loved how her husband set her down and told her, you need to go see someone. You need to heal. He told her that she was safe and that her past was not happening now, even though he didn't know what she knew about Sandeep. But he tried to, just let her know that she was safe. And that happens in real life, where we go through things in our past and we don't heal from them, and we keep thinking that in the future, these things are going to happen to us, or we don't really connect with people and we have a wall up because of what happened to us. So I love that they touched on that. The only thing that I did not like about this movie was that I felt like Sandeep's character didn't have any build up to like the reveal. Pallavi, again, she had no red flags to go off of. He was just perfect. He didn't do anything suspicious around her, not that I saw. But I kind of felt like she was so in love with him that she was kind of blind, which, I mean, that happens in real life. But the girl just didn't question anything her mom was saying. Like, she just instantly was like, ugh, something's wrong with her. She's just crazy, Like, even if I thought my mom was losing it, I kind of would have had moments where I'm like, okay, am I doing the right thing? Am I moving too fast with this engagement? Is he the right one for me? I really haven't known him that long, but she didn't go through any of that. Like, she was like, this is gonna be my man. He's perfect for me. he's just awesome. You know, she didn't question anything, and so I kind of wanted to see like her going through those stages, her like eyeing him like, who are you, dude? Are you really who you say you are? You know, type of thing. But she didn't, and he didn't do anything that gave us any suspicions that he wasn't who he said he was. So yeah, that was my only thing I did not like about the movie. But that's just something a little petty. Just a little petty something. But other than that, the movie was great. If I had to rate it, I would give it a 7 out of 10. I think Blumhouse did their thing on this movie. So recommend it to everybody, you guys. If you would like for me to review another movie, comment below and tell me what you want me to review. I love watching horror and thrillers, so I don't mind watching something else. I can even watch another Blumhouse movie because this one was great. Like, subscribe, and come back again. I'll be back soon.